straight.
My mic
Paul
control
says
is
straight.
impeccable.
All right, well, how do we start this off? I don't have a name for this podcast. This is the Aak Baby, the incredible Aak Samson. I am one half of this podcast. The other half is the man that's behind the scenes, but in the scene, all in the videos, dancing all in front of the crowds.
You will never see me again. I'll be behind the camera once again, but I had to be in front so that Akir could share with me his opinions on what exactly is going on right now.
5 the Fresh.
Yes, sir.
I don't like talking to myself, and here we are. I'm not one Danny Fantano. Without further ado,
Direct.
Yes.
Find yourself on this podcast. We working it out, but Direct, he'll be
Sean Marvin. I'm calling you out by your government. Eh?
Yeah.
How you in Florida and not on the podcast? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Absolutely tragic.
Absolutely. What did we just witness in the history, in the annals of time of hip hop? Paul, you were what I would like to refer to as a layman. A layman. Not because you're not a diehard hip hop fan, just because you don't got time to be keeping up with this shit.
Sure enough, don't.
And so you don't. And you don't pretend to. And I appreciate that. Because I don't got time to be keeping up with some shit my damn self.
Yeah.
But I do pretend to. You know what I mean? What are you just on the outside looking at? Someone who's not up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, oh, Kendrick just dropped. Oh, did you hear what he said about Drake's third baby mother in the second line of the third song?
Yeah.
What do you think about all this?
I hate it now. I'm not entertained anymore, bro.
Not in the least bit?
Yeah, listen, bro, like after I think it went first person shooter,
Right.
then Like That,
Yes.
then Drake came back.
Cole.
Oh yeah, then Cole, then Drake.
Then
No, wait.
Cole apology. which belongs on the timeline. That's a big event
Yeah.
in
Okay.
hip hop history. Cole, the Cole retraction, then Drake.
After Euphoria, when Euphoria came out, I was like, that's when I was like, I'm starting to get sick of this. And then anything after that, I was just kind of like, because even Drake's one that he just dropped,
Yes.
what is the name of it?
Family Matters.
I mean, out here sounding like you. Even Family Matters, bro. Like, I listened to Family Matters, and like, he started getting into like you think the third cousin don't know about the cousin. Like, he started getting into whatever, like all that shit, where it's like he talking about stuff that you got to have 2 PhDs to know what he talking about. I was like, nigga, I don't care. Like, and then Kendrick dropped, like, in the midst of me not caring, Kendrick drops a song, bro.
Well, if you don't care about that, wait till you get a chance to not care about this.
Bruh.
Here's another 17 minutes.
Bruh.
Some shit you don't care about.
Nigga, I was like, I can't even keep up, bro. Like, I was just wrapping my brain. I had to find another white man on the internet to explain to me what's going on.
That's the worst.
Because they be knowing, boy.
Them white people be knowing.
They
though.
be knowing, boy. I did forensic analysis of this verse and
In 1972, Drake's
bro.
father said the word kin, and then he used that.
Yeah, man, I'm from a different era of battles, man. People was just like, hey, man, I'll shoot you.
Yes.
I got that line.
I sell more crack than you. I shoot more niggas. I commit more felonies. I dress better.
Exactly.
I fuck better
And
bitches.
if they're mentioning something, it's like well documented. Like, they're mentioning a video of you like getting beat up or something like that. I don't know.
So, okay, as a person who's well versed in
My
battle
bad,
rap,
real quick.
Am
I like looking back and like, is this actually truthful, or am I
Yes.
looking back and making this up? Because I'm thinking about the Ja Rule, like, for example, the Ja Rule versus 50 beat.
Yes.
For example, just take one for. I feel like all that was pretty surface level. You didn't have to know like a bunch of background to.
You're right.
Know what they're. Okay, yeah, all right.
Nobody
Continue.
in the history of battle rap, well, outside of actual battle rap, nobody in the history of diss tracks or rap beef ever asked you to do this much research. Like, no one has ever given you this much
That's what
homework.
it feel like, bro. It should feel like schoolwork, bro. Like,
It is. It is definitely.
They drop a track and I'll be like, damn, nigga, I feel like I just got an assignment in college or something, nigga. Like that.
That wasn't on the syllabus. Like,
damn,
what the
nigga,
God damn. Another
nigga-
research paper.
Nigga,
I'm
oh
in
my
the middle
God.
of one. Bitch,
I got work on Tuesday.
I got 3 other classes.
These niggas keep on dropping disc records.
So, okay. Quick history of battle rap. There is a guy called, what's this man's name? Oh, it escapes my memory, but he used to rap like this. Everybody, run the mouth. Now everybody in the place to be. Let me see you raise your hands and throw them at me. If you was born and made, it means you're a tourist. Everybody say, tourist.
Everybody say, oh yeah.
And then
Solo.
Kumo D battled him and said the first time ever in history that anybody on record said personals to somebody.
Yeah.
And he basically said, and he was cursing at him. He's like, yeah, nobody wants to hear that bullshit nobody wants to hear your astrology raps. And nobody wants to hear your regular ones because they probably whack. And then the crowd actually booed him.
Yeah.
They booed him because they was like, why are you being so disrespectful?
Yeah.
So Kumo D actually like introduced the personal and introduced directs. Or personals mean they're personally fitted to you.
Yeah.
Battle rap went for a long time of where street rappers would just say, I sell more drugs, I do that, and they had a good 20 rhymes in their head, and they would battle people, and the one who ran out of rhymes lost, right? Then it kind of turned into the freestyle, and it would be sight gags. So I'm looking at you, yo, your high top fade is lopsided. Yeah. And, and then fast forward.
Those were simpler times.
There was simpler times. Then fast forward, battle rap turned into written. So me and you were going to battle in a month.
And that was like Mook and I think the height of that was like Mook versus where they was like out in New York that one
Nigga,
time.
what the fuck? The height of that was Aak versus whoever I battled. Nigga, what you talking about? Man? That was the pinnacle.
Go ahead.
Never get no higher.
You was right. You was right.
AAK versus, search that. But nah, so yeah, Mook was up there, Hollow the Dawn, all these people were up there, right? And what it turned into, it stopped being about like who can move the crowd with sight gags and quick jokes and all that, and it been more about who can write better. And it was kind of a more like, a more like deep dive into how good you are as an artist.
Yeah.
Right? So, but that's face-to-face battle rap.
Yeah.
Wax on wax, battling on wax has always kind of been, I would say it got shaped by Tupac, who came out with Disrespect, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre and all the Death Row. They were disrespecting each other. They were calling each other gay a lot. You know what I'm saying? They were inviting each other to their manhood a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, before that you had like Eazy-E and Ice Cube and all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
They were doing a lot.
All that era, you just putting it all together.
You straight booty. You remind me of a woman. All that kind of
Good
stuff.
old schoolyard insults on wax.
But before that, you had Kumo D again and LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Kumo D kind of passed it to LL Cool J.
Yeah.
And LL Cool J became the artist. Was the boogeyman. Nobody wants to battle him. KRS One, Boogie Down Productions, all this kind of stuff. So there was a lot of disrespect, but there was a lot of truth being said.
Yeah.
And I guess if you fast forward to now, they were light on the disrespect at first. When they came out with Like That, and it came out with all the ones before Euphoria, it was a little light on the disrespect, and it was heavy on the like illusions. It's such a whole ass up, and we don't want to just nowadays saying somebody's name is just he said his name, because everybody's been sneak dissing for years
the entire time,
So what it is now, I think, in a lot of my people from my era and your era, we kind of wasn't feeling it because we was just like, man, these people are slap boxing, like they slap fighting.
Like to me, even the most annoying part of all this to me is the sneak dissing thing. To me, that's stupid. Like, because if I'm honest, like if I'm beefing with somebody and you don't even say my name, like I don't know who you talking about till you say my name.
I think
like,
Jay-Z said something like that.
Yeah,
if you indirectly address me, it's not a direct hit, so it doesn't.
Why does this even matter if you're too like scary to even say my name? Because then the other thing too is like then they'll get in interviews after that and they'll be like, yo, what's up? We feel like, were you throwing shots and touching stuff? Oh no, I wasn't doing.
Yeah, then they'll lie.
Like, and I was just kind of like, if somebody did that in the street, because me and I know you always say like rap is something different than physical altercations with somebody, but the thing is like,
Definitely is.
if somebody said they wanted to, if I was like, I'm about to fight this nigga, it's like, who are you trying to fight? And they just like weren't ever looking in your direction, talking in your direction, I'd be like, you don't want to fight me, like you pussy, like you don't want to fight me, like you.
No, that's valid.
Yeah, like I wouldn't respect that at all. Like you either gonna PEO, point them out, or you gonna shut up and move the hell on.
And that's what I feel is part like a cultural thing. Like a lot of things that's been going on because Drake and Kendrick are two of the biggest artists ever. There's a lot of people that don't really understand hip hop or rap at all, but just enjoy the music really well, and they never really grown up in it, and they don't really even understand what's happening. Like I see people on there like, I can't be, he's mentioning his son. This is the worst thing I've ever heard. Please stop this. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I will say is this. There was an escalation. And the point that I was getting at is, much like the evolution of battling or on wax track dissing beef, rap beef, there's a big ass evolution. Because there's battle rap, there's face-to-face battle rap that we all know organized. Then there's rap beef on wax dissing. So it's been an evolution, and just like that, this beef between these three people has evolved. At first, they weren't mentioning names. They were saying stuff that only the other one would kind of know. Yeah. And if you was the biggest rap nerd of all time, you got, you know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff is just beyond me. And how they were connecting it. Like, I watch YouTube videos, and I'm like, how did you even put this together?
Bro, I made the mistake of watching, like, somebody did, like, a deep dive of all the times they've dissed each other. And that jump goes back to, like, 2016. And some of the stuff that they were saying to each other, I was just like, bro, how did you
even know?
How did you know, bro? Like, how did you even? Why did you even look this up? Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Jay-Z and them been doing that for years too, and each one of them knew.
Yeah.
So sometimes they get on the same track with each other and battle each other. That's just a thing, and I guess that's just a part of the rap game that most people don't understand or privy to because we're not one of them. But like, LL Cool J was doing a song with Parrish Smith from EPMD, and he almost fought the nigga in the studio.
Oh, because he was...
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, basically.
This nigga talking about me.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
This nigga talking about me.
That's basically what happened. It's recorded. It's recorded. And LL was like, LL said, he was rapping this shit. LL said, hold on now, man. What are we doing here? Started licking both lips. Nigga, what we doing here? What we doing here? And then EPMD's, I'm just rapping. He took it the wrong way. But that's because that's what a lot of rappers were doing. So Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, all these people were dissing each other.
Yeah.
And not really saying it. So kicking it. So Nas was like, Biggie's kicking the door was for him.
Yeah.
And then he was saying, Nas was admitting like certain songs he wrote about Biggie and Tupac and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah. And he was basically just, so sneak dissing has been an art form, almost like ghostwriting, that just rappers didn't talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't for public consumption. It was, I'm letting this other dude know that I'm better than him. You know, it said it's on the track. Like Big Sean has been sneak dissing Kendrick Lamar for 10 years now. Like ever since the Control track, him and Kendrick Lamar have been in a Cold War forever. And he's been giving shot, and J. Cole, and they all been sneak dissing each other.
Yeah.
But it all came out in the open. And for me,
what would you say, what started all this? Like, what was the course? You think it was, because to me, I feel like that was the one where it's just kind of like, all right, man, all this sneak dissing stuff about to stop. Like, we about to actually, like, it was the first live round that was shot.
Well, of these particular combatants, you're saying these people participating in the battle,
or just even of this, like, whatever's been going on in the background. This is like the first thing of like, all right, we putting it out in the open for real.
Yeah, of course it was like that. He didn't mention anybody's name, but it was obvious who he was talking about to everyone.
He called the song out, which I feel like that's as obvious as anybody's been.
Yeah. And I mean,
and referenced a line directly.
Reference a few lines for them. So that was the first one that was directly, whatever. And then Cole mentioned Kendrick on First Person Shooter, but Drake didn't say his name. But it's weird though, because they say Drake or Cole reached out for him to do First Person Shooter too. So that was supposed to be all three of them on the track, which is so funny because that's what started the beef between Jay-Z and Nas. Jay-Z reached out to do a song with Nas
But you think it would have been probably one of those situations where even though they on the same song with him, they would have been trying to diss him on the same song they on?
They would have been competitive. They would have been competing like just like everybody else. It had like there's no other way.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Kendrick didn't want to do it, is because he thought it was fake.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I think he didn't want to do it because he hates them for real. But I don't think so. I think he's just like, yo, we haven't fucked with each other for 7-8 years now. And now you want me to do a song?
Yeah.
Like, for what? We're not friends for real.
Yeah.
And I think like Cole might have been trying to play peacemaker.
Yeah.
But Kendrick said it, like, you either on my side or I feel like you with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you watch Ye and Drake make up and break up 16 times or whatever. Like, first y'all friends, then y'all enemies, then y'all friends, then you do a show together, then your enemies again.
Yeah.
So they're doing all this for money. They're doing it all just because they feel like they can make more money together than they can against each other. And I think Kenny just really thinks he's the best. And I think he has that in him. So he dropped like that. And I thought that was a good first shot. I thought everything else was just all right. Like, that came after that, I thought it was just all right.
Everything, like all the other tracks?
Yeah.
Like
Drake's, whatever his joint was called, where he's dissing everybody. Cole's joint, where he's dissing Kenny, I thought it was all right.
Man, I guess you and I's opinions are not that far off, because I feel exactly the same, except
they play fight.
My criteria, what I'm going off of, is Like That was the best song.
Yes.
And while y'all did say stuff about each other, like I can't even like grade the lyrics, because if I'm honest, I'm listening to these one time, maybe twice, maybe three, never turning this on ever again. They're like, and which is also what I don't understand about some of these diss tracks, is it's kind of just like they're disposable songs in a way where it's just kind of like, it's not finna be something that you like play over. It's not, you are not finna put this in a playlist.
And
like,
that's crazy.
Like That you finna put in a playlist. So I was like, if I'm just going off of that, I'd say Kendrick won, just off of, because first of all, you're the first one out the gate who decided to stop doing the sneak diss and shit. So I'll give you props for that, because you were the first. Yeah, you're the first one out the gate. You shot the first one, and then everything else is kind of like, if everything else is just kind of on the same level, then I'm gonna be like, well, who made the best song? And it was Kendrick and Future.
So, well, Future ain't really in it, but he's adjacent to it.
Yeah.
But so I get you, and I would tend to agree, but I liked push-ups.
They're not here for my opinion, by the way. They're here to hear you break down what
but
they're
I
saying.
appreciate that because it delivers a conversation. But yeah, push-ups, I liked it. I just didn't like it like that. No pun intended. I didn't like it like that.
Bars.
Like I listened to it a couple
you did
times.
that on purpose, though, my nigga.
I just my rap brain, son. You know what I'm saying?
Real rap raw.
Like that's what Aak versus.
Yeah,
look it up.
Yeah.
Bars.
Little bit of rapping. What?
And then I mean, I like push-ups, but once I like tried to figure out who every bar was for, and once I did that, I was like, okay. But again, it was like he was slapping him. It wasn't like he was hitting him with any big punchlines. He was just slapping him. Yeah. So then he dropped that AI diss. And I was just completely disgusted by that. Did you hear that?
The little Pac, the Tupac. Yeah, I heard half of it and I shut it off.
Yeah, I got halfway through Tupac's and I was like, yeah, this is trash.
That crap was whack.
Come on, Kenny, we need you. You gotta rap. You gotta do this. And I was just like, this is stupid. Some people really thought it was clever. I didn't. I thought it was absolutely despicably dumb. And I was almost done with it. Then Euphoria drops. My initial reaction was, what is this trash? I can't believe this nigga put out 6 minutes of wasting my time.
Yeah.
And it's because, and a lot of people that I know are from my era felt the same way at first, because we weren't used to the way he presented it. We're like, why are you rapping in this voice? Why are you sound sleepy? Why is the beat so relaxed? Is this a diss track? Or what is this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it grew on me.
Yeah.
One, because everybody was like, oh, did you hear when he said this? And don't get me wrong, there was lines that I liked throughout, but I just thought it was too long and he should have made it more compact. Yeah. But when everybody kept saying, oh, did you know this was a reference to the restaurant that he went in the day before and then yesterday and then so I'm like, you got that out of there? Let me listen again. Then I started hearing more. And you know what? By the time 616, did you hear 616?
Yeah, I did.
By the time 616 came out, Euphoria had grown on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I listened to it like maybe 5 times. It grew on me. And I was hearing what everybody's saying was in there. I was like, all right, it was decent. Then 616 came out and he said, what'd he say? He said, Off-White Sun
Seeker at the
Seeker.
Marina.
Yeah, Off-White Sun Seeker at the Marina. I listened to the track. I was like, that was pretty good, especially the latter half. I liked it. I go back and I listen again. That was pretty good. But what the fuck is he talking about in the first part of the song? It took me about
my sentiments, exactly.
It took about 4 more listens till it started to make sense. It was probably because I was working too, but I pride myself on getting shit the first time. Yeah. It wasn't dawning on me. Sunseeker at the Marina. First of all, I didn't know Sunseeker was the name of a boat. So Off-White Sunseeker at the Marina. He's bragging about the stuff he got. So on the surface, that's the color of the boat at the Marina, right? Yeah. Off-White. Not quite white, not quite black. Drake, Sunseeker, S-O-N-S-U-N, Sunseeker, seeking his child, seeking the light, seeking the shine. Yeah. At the Marina. What's that Marinas? Little boats. Who wrote Drake's fucking one of his hit tracks off the last album? Lil Yachty. Yeah. Off-White Sunseeker at the Marina. You know what I mean? It had a lot of duality to it. It had a lot of layers. Yeah. And that one wasn't, you had to go research, you had to go click stuff, if you just had to listen. And once I saw that and I started reading into the rest of it, then I almost like the first half even more than the second half. Yeah. And it was a song of 2 halves. The second half, he was being more direct, telling Drake, like, yo, you got a leaking. Hovio. He kept calling him Hovio, which I love a good calling a nigga hoe by changing the words around. Nigga, you know what I mean? Yeah. See what it did was.
I put this H in your acronym.
And I took your acronym and used it against you. But yeah, so it was just, I realized that song made me change my approach to listening to these battles. It's never going to be Ether and Takeover again. We're never going to get that again. It's never going to be Beanie Siegel versus The Lox. It's never going to be that again. Yeah. Battle rap is something different. And I've gotten away from face-to-face battle rap because what happened was when I was younger, when I was like 23, 26, 10, 12 years ago, niggas had their own style and they were approaching every battle their own way. Yeah. And then you would see 2 styles clash against each other, and that's what made it fun. Now, like, you fast forward 2, 3, 4, 5 years, niggas on the internet was watching these battles and studied everything they were doing, and then they put together all the good things. And then it would come and everybody could do everything. Now everybody does a freestyle rebuttal flip. Everybody has big haymakers. Everybody has jokes. Everybody has gun bars. Yeah. Everybody has everything. Everybody does research and points you and does disrespect to your family. Everybody learns your history and flips it against you. Everybody takes angles. Every single rapper hits all the things. Yeah. And what does it remind you of? It reminds you of, you know, the 90s, all the different rappers had different styles. All 2000 rappers had different styles. Now everybody has the same style. Yeah. Everybody's hitting the melodies. Everybody's wavy and I'm just trying to have fun. Everybody's doing the same thing because once money gets involved in shit.
Yeah, it kind of muddies the waters.
Yeah. Now we just trying to check boxes. So that's kind of why I got away from battle rap. So now I'm listening to this. How dare you, old nigga, come and say, oh, I'm not, Kendrick Lamar isn't rapping the way I want him to rap. Or he isn't doing this like Jay-Z did it. Well, why would we want him to? Yeah. Shit has to progress. So I think the new thing, and because if you think about it, shit is on the internet now. Yeah. The reason why this battle is the way it is because I can just click and figure out what he's talking about. Yeah. And Kendrick Lamar has that cachet. If I came out and battled Paul and dropped a track against Paul, and I talked about his tattoos, and then I did the Mayan fucking Mayan calendar and shit. It was like, yeah, you didn't know 12 stood for this. Nobody's gonna give a fuck. Yeah. But Kendrick Lamar and Drake earned that cachet.
Mhm.
Well, but Kendrick Lamar especially, he earned that. His fans are trained to hear his words and know it's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Drake uses a lot of melody. He uses a lot of couplets, rhyme couplets. He uses punchlines to get across his words. J. Cole uses melody, but he also uses a lot of internal rhyme patterns. And he sets things up and he uses like multisyllabic words to get across his point.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar he uses a lot of melody, but he doesn't use none of that shit. He will rhyme a singular syllable with another singular syllable, and that's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't care if the rhyme pattern is complicated. He doesn't care about none of that.
Yeah.
But it's because he's choosing specific words in order to get across his point. And I, for one, can appreciate that. It's called specific diction in writing. It's not necessarily I would do in a battle.
Talk that literary knowledge.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily what I would do. It's not necessarily even what I especially want to hear in a battle. But from Kendrick Lamar, that's his personality. That's his writing style. And he brought it to the game. In all respects to Drake, because he didn't switch up what he does. Yeah. He's on that shake your ass, bitch, let me see what you got. So he kept rapping over the shake your ass beats.
Yeah.
You can't really, you know what I mean? You could clown him for it, and I'm going to. But you got to give him props for staying true to his artistry. Yeah. And the same thing for Kendrick. They're bringing his styles clash. And to me, that's what makes the battle interesting.
What if Sexy Red is a ghostwriter?
I mean,
if Sexy Red is in there just giving Drake like the illest bars of all time? That would be the plot twist of plot twists. All right, I'm done. That's
Lil
Yachty all I had.
Is such trash, right?
Yeah.
That if you have him ghostwrite for you, then anybody can ghostwrite for you at that point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I heard Lil Yachty's reference track for Drake. Lil Yachty saying those same words was absolutely horrid. Horrid. But what's crazy is I like the track from Drake, and that's because Drake knows how to
make a better song.
Yeah, he knows how to harmonize. He knows he put them like Lil Yachty can't harmonize.
Yeah.
He can mimic it, but he can't do it. So Drake made it sound good.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you let Yachty write for you, then you can let Sexy Red write for you. Why not? But Sexy Red probably doesn't write her own shit though.
Maybe. I don't know.
So anyway, let's get to the battle itself. This is what you missed, nigga. Euphoria and 616 were set up.
Okay.
And they were basically warning this nigga what's about to happen. And then Drake at, let's say 11:30, he puts up a snippet. Tape. Yes, but he put up a snippet on his IG.
Okay.
And it was a song, Fat Rewind. Drake put Kendrick on his album. That's the first time the world at large heard Drake. Yeah. And this is all the rage at the time. He gave Kendrick a whole track to himself.
Yeah.
And Kendrick rapped some shit on Drake's album. And then Drake took Kendrick on tour. That's how Kendrick really kind of blew up. He was instrumental in helping out. So Drake took that same song and he like revamped Kendrick's verse and used it to diss him. And so it was pretty cool. And then on the screen, it said, go to YouTube to hear Family Matters out now. So you go click on Family Matters and it's the snippet, which I think Drake cut off his song. So what I think Drake did when he dropped Push-Ups.
Yeah.
He cut off.
At the end, there was another song he was going into and then he cut it. Yeah.
But it's more beat from Push-Ups on there.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Family Matters. And I think what it was is Drake learned from the Pusha T battle. Pusha T said, Drake, you didn't write your lyrics. You a piece of shit. And then Drake said, what? And came and emptied the clip. And then Pusha T came out and said, you were hiding a child. And Drake clearly said, okay, I don't want no more. Drake said, I don't want no more. So when that happened, I think Drake learned, like, don't empty the clip no more. Like, wait.
Yeah.
So he waited till he thought Kendrick was basically done. Mm-hmm. And then he came out with Family Matters. Now, I'm not going to lie. That shit was fire. Yeah. It was fire. It was like he was dissing him. He had 3 different flows, but he was packing in the punchlines, or not even the punchlines, because it depends on what you call the punchline, but he was saying shit like Ricky Ross is on Ozempic, and one of the the side effects is jealousy, but the doctor forgot to tell you. It was dope. Just dope shit. He was telling he said Rocky wanted this. It just nobody cares. We forgetting you rap because niggas only care about your fits. And he was like, you fucked my BM, but they could do the math. Who was I fucking back then? Yeah. Basically alluding that he was hitting Rihanna at the time where Rocky was messing with his BM.
Yeah.
Which all this is probably over girls and whatnot. It's all crazy.
That's kind of wild too. Like,
yeah, I mean, they all be sharing women.
Yeah, anyways.
They all be sharing women. Yeah. He said, I'm stacking up bodies after bodies, and Ricky probably gonna read me my Miranda rights and all this bars. I'm talking about everything you would want somebody to say to these niggas. He said it.
Oh no, he was going in. Family Matters, he was going in.
He told Kendrick you was beating on your girl, but it might have been self-defense because she's bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? And when I was done with the song, I said, yo, the battle's over, yeah. I was like, I don't want to hear another 6-minute song from Kendrick Lamar, like basically telling me about timestamps from the past and all this other kind of stuff. Yeah. And I listened to Family Matters like 3 times. And I went to click the X and then I get a message. Kendrick Lamar dropped. I said, what, nigga? What? Nigga dropped 10 to 30 minutes. I don't know what, I keep seeing different time frames, but he dropped 10 to 30 minutes. I know I got it before I even stopped listening to Drake. Yeah. Somebody sent it to me. Yeah. So 10 to 30 minutes after Drake dropped. And this is what I'm saying. Like, it's a different world we live in. You couldn't move. Like, you couldn't move that quick. You couldn't move that quick. Yeah. You couldn't move that quick. And you could tell his hand was right there on the button waiting for this nigga
on the detonator, yeah.
Yep. And probably the time it just took YouTube to render it. So he drops his response.
Everybody in OVO getting fired, nigga. Yeah. Your name ain't Drake. You got to clean that leak up, brother. That's somebody leaked that drop time on you, bro. Like, hey, man, if you used to work at OVO, nigga, resume genius.
Yo, so, I mean, and then at first I didn't know how I felt about it. Like, he came in and he was like, dear... what's his son's name? Adonis. Dear Adonis. And I paused it and I called Sean and I said, yo, I don't think this nigga, I don't think I want to even hear this thing. Yeah. Drake fucking ran the gauntlet ran the table, nigga. Yeah. Like, I don't even know if I want to hear this. I don't want to hear more funny voice, deep thoughts or whatever. I was like, get this nigga out of here, man. I think it's over. It's over. Me and Sean had like a 20-minute conversation before I even pressed play on Kendrick shit again. Yeah. So we hung. I said, you know what? Just let me listen to it. Then this nigga said, if a nigga pee on your leg, you have to die that day or pop that man in his head. And it was just like, these are lessons that your father ain't going to teach you because he's not a man. And that was the whole thing of the thing. Like, he was talking to his son and he basically just said, like, spoke on what Drake, all the things we know about Drake that we call him. Listen. The reason why Drake made me so mad is because I hated him. I was a firm believer in he's soft, he's corny, all this other kind of stuff. And he just dropped so many hits that I came over to the dark side. And I felt like, you know what? Let me just get into his new music. Like, basically, if I don't learn to enjoy the style of music now, I'm just never going to listen to music again. I can't. There's only so many times I can listen to Beanie Siegel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to find something new. Yeah. And I got into A$AP Rocky, I got into Drake, I got into Cole, I got into all these people. And basically what Kendrick did was he went back and took all those L's that we saw when I was younger. And the reason why at first I was hesitant to fuck with Drake, and he highlighted him. And I was just like, now you're talking to this thing. There's no deeper meanings. You don't got to go do research. He's straight up and down. He wasn't even trying to rhyme his words that well. Yeah. He was just straight up telling you, like, this nigga is a bitch made whole ass punk. Yeah. And he was just like, he just went in. Then he started talking to his parents. And then he said, listen, you raised a sexual deviant that does this to women and has fetishes for this, that, and third, and just went off and said, let me tell you something about this rap game. It's full of weirdos and not the good kind. The kind that have women tied up in their house, kidnapped them and all, and then started going in about all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And he said that Drake's house is going to get raided. And he said, like, he said, LeBron, keep your son away from him. Like, keep your kids away from him. Steph Curry, keep your kids away from him.
Yeah.
Like, then he started talking about like he's been alluding. Almost every single one of these songs have made large allusions to the
It's
fact
been alluding to the fact this nigga's
a pedophile.
A pedophile. That's crazy.
That's why I say everything has been a progression and a buildup. So he says all that, and I'm just like, ew. Like, you know what I mean? Like, ew.
Yeah.
And so then the third verse, he's talking to his daughter. To me, this is the weakest verse. One, because it only hits hard after the fact. Like, does he really have a daughter? Doesn't he? Did you get some bad info? Whatever. And then two, he didn't really say much other than apologizing for her father. Then he talks to Drake, and now it's probably the second weakest verse. The first two verses were really hard, but this second weakest verse. But the way the beat set up, the way he does his vocal inflections, the way towards the end of the verse he seems to get madder.
Yeah.
Then the chorus comes in, and it goes back to rapping again. It was just masterful, man. This shit was just masterful.
Yeah.
And like, it's not the way I would have did it. It's not the way I probably would have preferred it had I had a say in it. But I have to appreciate it for what it is. Like, It's just well thought out in the strategy, the chess game. Like, I was telling people, don't think about it like rounds anymore. You got to think about it like somebody's playing chess and they hit the clock and say it's your turn.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the game is played now.
And then nigga immediately hits the clock and knocks.
Yes. Yes, you hit the clock on him. He takes 2 weeks that nigga, you hit the clock. And it's like, let me make an Instagram post. So I'm not saying Drake is dead. A lot of people are saying, oh, battle over. I think that's a lot. I think you are hating. I think, man, so many people I've lost respect for just looking at them online.
Yeah.
It's like, you are a cheerleader with your pom-poms out. Yeah. Like, you want one to win over the other. Yeah. And I'm just over here like, fuck both of these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of y'all Beanie Siegel. So, ain't none of y'all. So I'm sitting here judging it fairly. Like I would. I am so in tune with the world of battle rap that I know how to judge a battle for what it is. And you got people talking about, oh, you're not going to bump Kendrick Lamar's songs in your car. And I'm like, nigga, we don't judge battles that way, man. Shut up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all acting like, and I saw somebody write, Kendrick Lamar picks the worst beats. What? He's had banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, this is where I'm kind of like in that. I don't like, if I'm honest.
So like you ain't sit down, be humble?
I ain't listening to none of this after this is over, man.
No, but I'm saying, in the totality, I'm not saying Kendrick has more hits than Drake. They're clearly two different types of artists.
No, I'm not talking about their catalog. If they saying that
Kendrick, they're saying catalog.
Yeah, if they talking about Kendrick's catalog, yeah, y'all need to sit down somewhere. Y'all are tripping.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm talking about in the course of this battle, I'm not listening to any of these songs twice, my nigga. Like, it's twice is all you getting out of me. And then after that.
So what about Drake's song? Because I thought all three of those beats were fire.
No, I didn't like that either.
What didn't you like about it?
I didn't like the beat. I kind of don't like his delivery. And then even it's like, I feel like if you gonna do one of those songs where it's just like you rapping the entire time, like you dissing somebody else with disses that I don't understand 50% of does not incentivize me to listen to the song again, my nigga. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, this is just me speaking for.
No, I want to hear it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't got like like, for example, like, and I know that there are songs like in my catalog where it's like just somebody rapping the entire time, no hook, just beat go hard, they rapping the entire time.
Prodigy, keep it thorough, nigga.
I am not familiar, but like Dane Jordan, Room Test, that's one I love. Exactly.
And you don't know Prodigy? This is why I called him a layman, my nigga.
Listen, man.
I break breads, bills, $100 bills, L4 Cotties, another 4 pills. Plug the album only for more sales.
I'll put it on the list. I'll put it on the list.
I keep it thorough, nigga.
Yeah, man. If anybody has a problem with me not knowing that song, fight me. And
I have several times.
Yeah, man.
So I feel entitled to have a problem.
Yeah, my nigga. Yeah. Keep that opinion to yourself. I don't respect nothing unless we boxing. So it's but yeah, man, like but that's just what I'm saying is like when these songs are coming out and they doing all this, that, and the third, and they coming up with like multiple, they doing all like the intent, which I'm not even judging them. I'm not judging them based off of you had to make a good song, like, you know, or make something that was kind of like something that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna vibe to this. That wasn't the point of the song. The point of the song is to diss the other person, and you've done that. But to me, like once it's there, I'm kind of like, okay, cool. I've heard the novelty of the song. Not listening to this no more, my nigga, because in the grand scheme of songs that I've listened to, that I'll vibe to, it's not this. You're not gonna hear none of these clubs played, you're not gonna hear none of these songs played ever again.
You possibly gonna hear Like That, and you
but that's
probably gonna hear Drake's latest diss.
But I said that about Like That, like, so yeah, Like That, and maybe Drake's Family Matters, but even Family Matters is not like a, like I don't see people really seeing that as like a.
You know what's crazy though? Because other than Like That, right? And this is what I was saying about the two different styles. Drake's stuff, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying what it is. His shit is really digestible easily.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like eating, I'm not calling this shit popcorn music, but it's like that's the reason why they call it popcorn. Because you eat the shit, and it's almost like you forgot that you even ate it. Like, I listen to Drake shit a couple of times, and I don't feel the need because I've digested everything. I've gotten everything I've gotten out of it. So I know exactly where you're coming from. Yeah. And the only reason why I'm listening to Kendrick shit more than, because I'm just trying to catch all the shit that I missed.
It's more, no, don't get me wrong. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, but that's even why I think Like That, out of everything that's going on, Like That is the best record. Because you're gonna
because the chorus is hot.
It's a good song.
The beat is hot.
It's actually a dope song that you gonna hear like in a club. And then
they was playing, man, the NBA don't like Drake. I don't know what's going on, but they play that motherfucker every time I watch a game. I hear Like That.
Really?
Yep.
No, but the thing is like it's a bop. So the thing is like they gonna play it, and then so now, all right. So you've captured the people in the bucket who will listen to a song now because the song sonic. They're like, yo, this sounds like just a regular. This sounds just like it's a bop. It's a fire song. Then now also in that same bucket, you've also captured the people who are like, okay, well, since I'm going to be listening to the song repeatedly anyway, I'm going to take the time to understand what Kendrick's talking about because I'm going to listen to it multiple times. Like, I don't like these songs enough to care. Also, the thing is, like, to a certain degree with some of this stuff, I feel like it's two grown men and it's like a soap opera. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what is this? Housewives of hip hop, my nigga. Like, please stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Like, so my thing is like, I'm just not putting in the research to understand, but like that, like, I get what you're saying because there's a certain thing to be said about Kendrick's verses where it's like, because you ain't gonna catch everything on the first go around, it's almost like you're being rewarded for listening to it multiple times.
Yeah.
And he definitely has that over Drake, with like the double entendres, the triple entendres.
He has that over everybody, apparently.
Yeah. So, but I'm just saying, I feel like it's most effective in Like That because Like That is probably gonna be the song that people are gonna listen to the most. So, in my opinion, I feel like that puts Kendrick up even before everything else happened with him dropping immediately after Drake. Like he has the best song with a diss verse on it.
And that's why I'm glad to have Paul on the podcast because there's a regular nigga and there's a super hip hop head nigga. Then there's a nerd nigga. Then there's a street nigga. Yeah. And then there's a Taylor Swift fan who was passing by and shit. And that's what Paul represents. On the way to scroll into some Taylor Swift
First of all, music, man, don't you come and Tay-Tay now. Don't you come and Tay-Tay.
But yeah, Paul represents what I think.
Booty shaped like a passport. The guy dog.
But
she can sing like a song.
Passport. That's crazy.
Yeah,
with no stamps on it. Ass ain't been nowhere.
Man.
Woo.
Been around the world now, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, nah. And it's just different representations. And when Jay-Z battled Nas, that was ours, right? That was hip hop cared, and nobody else cared what anybody else had to say about that shit. Now we live in a time where there's a whole bunch of people, like elderly white women are speaking on it. Fucking
What?
yeah, people who don't even listen to rap for real, that couldn't tell you who all the members of the Wu-Tang are. You know what I'm saying? Got opinions on it, and we got to hear about this.
Lyoto Machida?
Yes. Lyoto is like,
Lyoto.
I believe that Kendrick is a family man.
I respect his opinion. He could box.
Also, I respect his kung fu. Because Kung Fu Kenny.
Kung Fu Kenny?
Yeah. But yeah, so it's so many people that's going around that I'm interested to hear how the outside world is taking it. Because funny enough, like if you go on Instagram on a certain webpage, you're going to get all certain types of fans. If you go here, like the internet is such far reaching, but it's very segregated and segmented. Like they say the older people on Facebook, younger people on Twitter, fucking Instagram, there's different types of people. Fucking Twitter's full of degenerates.
Because I would say my feed on Facebook has been full of Kendrick is winning. Like Kendrick is there. Like everybody, I don't know what my demographic. Well, you know, mostly majority black is my friends on Facebook are just people I'm following anyway. So, and most of that in my timeline has just been, if they're talking about it, they're talking about like how Kendrick is like just snapping on Drake. And then my IG, on the other hand, seems to be more
Drake.
Like pro Drake. Like, a little bit more pro Drake than Kendrick Lamar.
It just depends on what page
funny
I'm
how,
on, because I follow a couple of different hip hop radars that are really just secret fronts for Republicans. And I follow a lot of like hip hop.
Donald Trump.
Rap.
You know who's really winning this battle? Donald Trump.
You know who's really losing this? The American people. For as long as Joe Biden's in office.
And that Barack Obama.
Goddamn Barack Obama.
If it weren't for goddamn Barack Obama.
But yeah, I feel like if I totaled everything I saw in my own unique experience, you know what I'm saying? It feels like Kenny is winning. Even when I go to Drake's comments on his video, I see a lot of Kendrick Lamar. When I go to Kendrick Lamar, I don't see nobody talking about Drake. Like every 60 comments, there's maybe one Drake person.
Yeah.
Actually, shut up. Moment from fucking The Simpsons. Actually, I love Drake.
The funniest take though was that nigga Ace Vane when he said he was like talk about this a W for they got a W. He's like, we should lock these niggas up. They sex trafficking and beating women. Like
yes.
I was like, that's the funniest take, my nigga, because realistically, if everything is true, my nigga, y'all should be in jail.
And so
should not be celebrating any of
I'm
this.
a little cut off from the younger generation at the moment. Before I was in tune with them because I worked with them, but now I work from home. So I'm a little cut off from them. So I was talking to a dude who's 26, 27. Shout out to 12, which is confusing. But his name is 12.
His name is 12. You got to explain that.
He's in his 20s. But he was basically telling me that his friends are basically saying Kendrick is the one that got it too.
Really?
But he thinks there's some hating on Drake. He believes a lot of people hate on Drake because Drake has been number one for so long. And so I'm trying to separate that from because I have a natural bias against Drake, but I actually have a natural bias against the way Kendrick Lamar raps. So to me, I think I'm the fairest that I could possibly be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Drake has just been on deep. But there's the other thing, when Jay-Z and Nas battled, they had been the top lyricists, but Nas wasn't on top of the game. And Jay-Z just became like the number one guy, accepted worldwide. Like maybe 99, 98 is when he ascended, and they battled in like 2002. So he wasn't on top that long. Drake, Kendrick, and Cole been the top three for like 10 years now.
You see, the thing is though, like Drake's position, although it is number wise, he is where he is. Mm-hmm. But
that's what I mean, though.
But his position is actually very fragile, if you think about it, for all the reasons that Kendrick listed. Because
he definitely cheats.
Yeah, it's like if you're there, but you don't really have because I feel like Jay-Z is there when Jay-Z popped up at that position, and when he got that position, he has respect at that position because they're like, okay, he writes his rhymes, and everything he's doing is all him. And then even just personal, like on a personal level, I think people are like, yeah, he's that dude. Drake don't really. It's too much like stories about like behind the scenes where it's like people either just think Drake is a cornball and just choose to ignore it, and somehow this man does a little bit of this. And then you forget that he's a cornball for a second.
My finger.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
so I think his position is like, even though he's there, I feel like it's kind of fragile.
But Drake breeds some hatred. Okay, other than him just being a soft nigga from a different country who's not of our culture, all so on yada yada. And then our kind of black people kind of turning over our culture to geeks and letting them like have the reins of things, right?
Yeah.
Which I think has been happening in all different facets.
To the point of which they got to come back and tell us about what we don't understand in hip hop.
Yeah.
Which I also appreciate because I wasn't gonna look none of that shit up.
I mean, they serve a purpose.
So, yeah.
They serve a purpose.
He got a point, but thank you to y'all niggas.
But what I'm saying is there's hatred to Drake because there used to be turnover, right? The topsoil would have to get turned over. So it used to be, Jay-Z was on top. But then here comes 50 Cent. And Jay-Z had to move over a little bit for 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Then here comes this one. Here comes that one. Before it was DMX there. Jay-Z had to vie for position with DMX. Drake never goes away.
Yeah.
Kendrick is years between his drops. J. Cole, there's years between his drops and he does features. Drake drops almost every other quarter.
Yeah.
He's on features. He's on somebody else's song. Somebody's writing his music. He never goes away. He's a constant. Yeah. And I think he wants that. He wants to always be popping. Yeah. He always wants all the attention. He wants emojis. He wants this. He wants that. Everything he does is to stay viral, to stay in everybody's mind. Yeah. And I think what that does is you can't break new artists. Like you can't, like every new artist that Drake finds, he siphons their shit. Yeah. He even has like Yachty could have had it. I don't know. I don't listen to it. I'm honestly, I don't know what people see in Yachty. But if he took that song that Drake had, maybe people would have liked that. But Yachty ain't had a song in years. Why? Because he probably gave the song to Drake. That's the reason why The Weeknd doesn't like Drake. Because The Weeknd felt like he was taking all his shit. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think there's a hatred bred towards Drake because he's just ever present. Yeah. And it's like whether you hated him or you tolerated him or you loved him, like sometimes it's too much is too much. Yeah. And then his fans won't let you ever dislike anything. Like there's no real like criticism of him. He's almost like the what do you call it? Status quo. And you know how you always have the rich stay rich, the poor get poorer? Yeah. Drake is the status quo. And he's been the status quo for like 12 years now. Yeah. He's just, and if you go at him, everybody's going to say, but he has all the sales. But he doesn't write his own music. Who cares? But, you know, it's corny. Who cares? You only think you're corny because you think you're jealous. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no every criticism bounce off of him because he just keeps getting the sales. And the reason why he keeps getting the sales is because he keeps using other people's artistry to boost up his own name. Yeah. So I think a lot of people do want Drake to get the fuck out of there. And they saw this as their opportunity to get Drake up out of there, the evil empire.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gotten... I feel like it's gotten to the point now where it's like that's never going to be... Like, he's too far. Like, you can't get him up out of there now.
Oh, no. The crazy part about all this...
He's almost like a record label in itself.
He is.
Because
he is OVO.
No, well, I mean... No, but I mean in the sense of, like, you know how...
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. But OVO, Drake, his brand is... It's gold for the rest of forever. Like, he's broken all the records. He has all the everything. Yeah. And from a hip hop perspective. Yeah. And I think that's his other issue is he can't compete. He can't go further. That's why he does all the different sounds, all the different styles. He can't go further. Yeah. Because he can't ever hit Taylor Swift. He can't ever compete with Bad Bunny. You know what I'm saying? So I think that irks him. Yeah. But as far as hip hop goes, as far as rap goes, you know.
And listen,
he's reached the pinnacle. So that being said, that's why this beef is so, despite like all the things, all the negatives we could bring up and all the stuff that we don't think is quite right for the kids in this generation, and just not even the kids, us living through these times. Because we always say Drake is for the kids in our generation, but he's 1 year older than us, or either the same year, just a few months older than us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we always forget that. And so is J. Cole and Kendrick. I think Kendrick might be like 35 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're from our generation. That's why they're so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but they are the gods to these kids. Whereas Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, that was our kings and whatnot. But to these kids, they worship these guys.
Yeah.
And like, it's more than, we were just fans. We were big fans of these different people. These kids, they are admitted stands. They worship them. Whatever they drop, they love it. They cop their merch. I wouldn't be caught dead in a Biggie shirt. Right now, Drake.
Not even height of Biggie's powers, man.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I thought it was dick riding. I'm like, why am I walking around with another nigga on my shirt, face on my shirt? Like, if you recall, like we used to print out our own baby pictures and put it on our shirts and shit. My family, I had a shirt with my family on it.
Yeah.
Right now, God rest my mother, I got a shirt in my closet with her face on it. I couldn't see myself wearing a Biggie shirt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to the sponsors of my other podcast. But you know what I'm saying? Like, but now it's okay to worship. So I think like these people going at each other is battle of the Titans. I honestly think
to be fair to that point, we used to wear like Rockaware and like Rough Riders and like
but
all
what was
that
it?
stuff.
What was it? What was that? That was you didn't wear a shirt that said Jay-Z. You said Rockaware. It didn't even say Rockefeller. It said Rockaware. Yeah. Rough Riders is a lifestyle. Yeah. And the Rough Rider Records was its own thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. Okay. Yeah. It's different. Yeah. Like even that's why I say what's my man's name? The guy with the braids who rages on stage and all that. Yeah. It's lit. That nigga.
Oh, Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
That's why I say he's smart. Cause I got a couple of Cactus Jack joints. I got a hat from him that I wear all the time. It's dope. Yeah. But it don't say Travis Scott. So Travis Scott could be the corniest nigga on earth. Travis Scott, get the fuck out of here. But Cactus Jack is a brand that'll last. Yeah. Anybody who separates their brand from their name is smart. And I think Drake tried to, but like you said, they're married to one. I had an OVO sweater. I have one right now. I can't wear it because I feel like I'm representing Drake.
Especially not now. Especially if you feel like that nigga might have had a bad week. Could you imagine you had the OVO sweater on and Kendrick Lamar drops? He's like, yeah, Drake's at least going to be up for the next half an hour. Walk out the house, that man drops. He's like, oh no. I didn't know Kendrick Lamar was going to drop 2 diss songs back to back. I got to go home and change my clothes.
What could they do to bring you back to Karen?
Bring me back to care? Nothing.
It's done for
you? It is done. It is quiet for me, bro.
Somebody wrote on Facebook, shout outs to him, and maybe we do a podcast with him here. Jari knows. He said that at this point, if you didn't do the damage you wanted to do at now, then we just move on.
We are 7 songs in, my nigga. Wrap it up.
But you know what the issue is?
Wrap it up.
You know what?
Wrap it up.
You know what the issue is? Jay-Z and Nas didn't wrap it up. They still were going. They just stopped mentioning each other's names. And that's all it's going to do. It's going to fall back to that.
Okay.
Drake, even after Drake admitted defeat against Pusha T, he was still dropping bars for Pusha T.
And you know what's crazy? We started with me saying, like, I didn't like the sneak dissing thing. But yeah, man, if sneak dissing is what's going to get y'all to stop doing this, yeah, go back to doing that, man. Just go back to that and give us some regular music. I'm sick of this now. Like,
I think Drake has to come out one more time. And of course, Kendrick's going to follow up. But I think Drake has to respond one more time. I think one more round.
9 diss records floating in.
Is
it 9? No, real talk. Is it 9 or is it 6? If you how many are out right? How many are out right now?
You mean together?
Yeah, together. How many diss records?
Can I remind you?
We'll throw J. Cole in there too.
Can I remind you?
And Rick Ross.
That when people used to drop whole mixtapes of nothing but diss records.
Yeah.
Can I remind you that LL Cool J's album after he dissed Cannabis, every song was about Cannabis. He just didn't say his name.
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't get like single releases and everybody was talking about it. It's like
because now it's a different age.
Album. You got the album, and then boom, that was it.
Before this is what I'm trying to say. Nas
every
and Jay-Z
single song is getting dissected, and every single song is getting talked about. It feels like they wasn't analyzing every song. They was picking the best song on the album. They'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna analyze this one." That's what makes this so tiresome to me. Is that every time they drop, this is all I'm hearing about. Like, oh, what do you, like, I stopped
because they were mixtapes and they didn't get converted to digital. There's still a couple of Beanie Siegel songs I ain't heard that diss the Locks. Man.
Praise God.
Like nigga, but no, those verses were incredible. Don't you ever
okay.
bring them out right now? Nigga. Where they at? But yeah. So I mean, but I feel you. I feel you. It is a lot, and it is all everybody's talking about.
That's just.
But that's what happens when the top of the game. It's culture shifted.
Yeah, that's.
Did you hear when Weeknd dissed Drake? No, you did.
I did.
Oh, you did.
I did. I heard the song. Him. Yeah, I heard when he was on there, and he's like, "Thank God I didn't." You just sound soft though, my nigga. Like you can't
that's his kryptonite.
You can't sing.
I think Drake said it. He's like, "Nigga, we don't want to hear you talking hard and falsetto."
Like,
nigga.
what are you talking about? Nigga, did you just sing? Did you just elegantly sing a diss?
But go back and listen to.
He sounded like he had
Starboy.
He sounded like he had some wings on when he did. Oh, Starboy's that shit.
My bitch look better than your bitch too. My car look better than your car too. It's just a bunch of fucking.
He was dissing Drake on that song?
No, I mean maybe at this point, who the fuck knows? But
you sneak dissing.
It could have been, but
no, Starboy is fire.
But what I'm saying is, it's the rap verse. It's just the rap verse.
I'm not saying the Weeknd ain't fire. It's just that like when he hopped on there and he was just like, "Then get that inside my life away." I was like, man, if you don't get the hell up out of here, Weeknd. Weeknd, man, we didn't. Come on, bro. Like you just.
I ain't gonna lie, and Drake, I know you wasn't fucking with it, but he packed the Weeknd up. He packed ASAP Rocky, Rick Ross, and the Weeknd all the way up.
I feel like if we're grading this, right? The first L was J. Cole, but now people are saying looking back. Retro.
Those people can go to hell with J. Cole. Those people, I will never forgive
now
J. Cole.
I see why J. Cole was getting out the way.
J. Cole was the prince who was promised, my nigga.
Yeah.
He was the king who was supposed to take the throne.
Nah, get out the way, J. Cole. I got it. I get it.
Nah, he should have just never said anything.
J. Cole might have had some kids running around here that we don't know about.
That's the rumor.
J. Cole said.
That's the rumor.
J. Cole said, "Oh,
he had a kid with a prostitute.
These niggas dropping kids. Ugh, I can't get involved in this."
That's the rumor. J. Cole had a
J. Cole got
but you see how this all keeps starting?
Yeah.
What made Pusha jump to Story of Adidon and talk about his kid? Because Drake said, "I let it ring like Victoria Williams," which is Pusha T's wife.
Yeah.
You keep bringing up people's wives, man. Nobody said nothing about nobody, and here you come immediately.
Apparently, that's his play, though. Apparently, he's all about going after people's women. But the other thing, too, is that, like, if I am, and once again, this is just, I don't know, this is just the era I come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you mention, like, wife, kids, family, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be no more like, it'll be like, then it gets quiet. And then I'm kind of, oh, okay. That's what we on? Okay. And then the next time you see me is when we gonna address that. Like, it ain't gonna be ain't no diss record. Like,
yeah, but that's when
I'm gonna let you think you want.
That's when a nigga is reach out and touchable.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do when a nigga lives 6 million miles away from you?
You gonna see him. I'm famous. You like if we both famous
like
on the
they
level
haven't
where
seen each other in 6 years.
Even Chris Brown and Quavo sat next to each other, had to sit next to each other.
Hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? Like, but I'm saying if we both famous, I could architect something where we could be in the same place at the same time. Like, I'm just saying, I done found people before, but it's like you. Like
millions upon millions of dollars on the line.
Yeah. Millions upon millions. Yes, you're right.
And all you gotta do is write a diss back and you make more millions.
The diss don't hit though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't hit like me punching you.
I mean,
or putting my paws on you.
That's always true.
Yeah. But
do you feel like Kenny can beat Drake in a fight?
I mean, from what I saw from the boxing footage, I put my money
Hell
on.
yeah.
But
I feel like
Drake,
anybody can beat Drake in a
Drake just
fight.
has a size advantage.
I
on
feel like
him.
anybody can beat Drake in a fight.
Yeah.
My little nephew, shout outs to Rashid, the great Rashid, just dropped the nigga in his first amateur bout.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could beat Drake in a fight. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, Drake ain't never
Soft as wet bread.
You know, he never. I don't think he ever
Mom,
made mention of his
why
hands.
didn't you give me bologna, Mom? I remember I saw that video when Drake first came out. He was yelling at his mother for not getting him the sandwich he wanted.
Yeah.
And I was like, you little bitch.
And
I removed it from my mind, and now it's all coming back around.
That's a superpower, man. He makes you forget
that he's a little bitch.
He makes you forget everything that he does, and he's back on top again. So,
and that's the thing. To wrap it all up, when this is all said and done, they may go one more round if Drake dares step outside again, which I think he will, because I don't think he can accept the L this time around.
Wait, this is my last question. Really, really last question. No more after this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want them to do another response? Do you want more responses because you feel like
we've just got to the nitty gritty now?
Okay, all right.
I feel like all before they were slap boxing, now the gloves is off. Now let's see what you really got. All before it was hold me back, wild order, don't make me. Yo, hey, you know when this I
got something in the tuck. Yeah.
Warning shot. Now they taking shots at each other for real. These are body blows that they're landing.
Yeah.
And one more round. I ain't hear no bell.
Okay.
I ain't hear no bell. And all I'm saying is the way Drake dropped that song, I think he thought it was off with his head, right? And then Kendrick dropped 10 minutes later and ruined all his plans. And I feel like the way Drake's ego works, based on just what I hear and see and what's coming about.
Yeah, man, got the OVO detectives working overtime.
I don't think there is, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's no detecting left. I think all that shit is dead. Now it's just about the bars. Like, let me just hear you come out and rapping some shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it 2 years from now on your next album. He dropped some shit and I thought our shit was better than his. And I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to turn that shit off. Like, J. Cole, I don't want to hear nothing else from this nigga. I don't want to hear not another stuttering fucking word about how good you are at rapping and how nobody else wants it.
You're really disgusted by J. Cole.
You better talk about bike riding and not combing your hair, nigga. You better talk about, I love waking up and not doing nothing to my hair, walking outside in the same clothes I slept in. Who cares what I wear? I'm at peace. That's all I want to hear from now on. Before I hit the skip button, my nigga. You understand what I'm saying? If I hear a mumbling fucking word about how good you are at rap and how nobody wants it, nigga, I'm gonna do like Paul said and find your motherfucking ass, nigga. Trash ass pussy coward.
Oh
puss
my
clout.
God, bro.
But yeah, I don't think Drake, he's too much in tune with what the comments are saying, the memes, and like RDC World. He actually interpolated something they said on their shit into his song. You would have missed it because you wasn't caring, but he like that's how much he cares. The RDC World is saying that Kendrick is up. Yeah. A lot of like the big name reactors are saying Kendrick is up. Now you got people like Cam and Mace. Cam made one diss song out of like 7 that were worth listening to. So I don't know if he has room to speak, but Mace made a couple that were dope. They said Drake was up. However, they both have on OVO / Dipset. And then, you know, Cam has done features with J. Cole. So that was considered that side of things. So I feel like they're a little biased. But a lot of the old school rappers are saying like Drake got him, but then when Kendrick Lamar dropped his last one, a lot of them turned sides. Like Gilly, Gilly was first. He was like, man, he putting me to sleep, and then now when his last one dropped from Kendrick, he's like, oh shit, that's how you do it. You gotta be disrespectful. So, but yeah, when it's all said and done. If they go one more round, 2 months after that, it's going to be right back to how it was.
What's the over-under on the feds raiding Drake's house?
That's what I really care about.
And finding out that he is and finding out that he is who we thought that he was and shit.
What's the bitch's name from Stranger Things?
Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah.
Ricky Bobby Brown?
Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh.
Ricky Bobby Brown.
Ricky Bobby Brown would be a dope name, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's kind of fire. Like,
Shit.
I mean,
it's
Bobby
my prerogative
Brown,
to be
yeah,
number
like,
one.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's my prerogative to be in
yeah.
first, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Millie Bobby Brown, there's rumors about him texting her and all being buddy with her. Then there was the whisper
when
singing.
she was underage?
Nigga, she's underage right now, I believe.
No, she not.
Maybe not. But yeah, so yeah, but he was, back then. There was rumors about, like, she was saying how Drake reached out to her and gave her advice and she loves texting Drake. All that's verifiable facts.
Oh, yeah, you might be right, bro, because she's only 20 now.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then there was the whisper singing ass bitch. What's her name? Billie Eilish.
Oh, snap, was reaching out to
Same
Billie
thing. Same thing. So there a lot of people was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with Drake? What's going on, Drake? A lot of people were saying that. So there's rumors about that. And like literally
What's the name of that chick? The whisper singing chick.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
She's probably like 24 now. But when it was happening, she was like 18, 19, 17.
No, she only 22.
There you go.
I don't know, bro. Feds might be on Kendrick might have dropped down on something.
I mean, he sounded like he meant everything he said.
That's crazy.
And what's crazy, and that's why I was talking about the
I mean,
thing.
it's not crazy because like I wouldn't be like you be hearing stories about. I don't know what number it is.
Hollywood is a sick fucking place.
Yes,
and it's crazy.
I don't know what amount of money that you start making that you're almost like, yeah, I think I want to lock some children in my basement now.
If you have a sex addiction and you get weirder and weirder.
There's that. Yes, I guess.
If you start to get weirder and weirder,
there lies the problem. Yeah.
And then when you have unlimited money, unlimited funds, unlimited drugs, because the body can only do so much.
Yeah.
But you go get the Papa Smurf, the little blue pill, nigga, you can go for hours.
Yeah.
You heard what he said. I go for 100,000 hours. Got the superpowers. You heard the boy from Com just said, you know this dick ain't free. That's crazy because he was quoting Kendrick when he said that. Yeah. So when you on pills and you can have sex with any woman you want and you got unlimited money, unlimited power, what do you do with your free time? There's people that said
stuff, apparently.
There's people that said for revenge, Drake will like he had gotten into an argument with Drake, this one guy, and Drake like flew out different members of his family and knocked him down.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's also like OD revenge right there. Yeah, that's I mean, if all this ends on some like how Hannibal Buress did Bill Cosby and just like put it out there and then people kind of started pulling at the threads after that. Like if this all
people been pulling the threads before Kendrick though. So, but nobody has said it to Drake on wax.
Yeah.
So this is I keep liking it back because he's again two biggies going at each other. It would be Biggie and Pac, but Biggie never really responded to Pac because Puff is a puss clot. And actually Puff tried to kill him. So, you know, however you want to say about that, I think Puff tried to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So that's why he wouldn't let Biggie diss him. But Jay-Z and Nas, what I was gonna say was like it came out. All the stuff that Nas and Jay was talking about was true.
Mm.
Jay-Z really did have sex with his baby moms, all that kind of stuff. It was true. And it led to like this, that, and tough feelings. But they made up.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of this, you can't are you gonna be friends with a person you kept calling a pedophile?
That's also true, yeah. And I don't think ain't no coming back from this. But also I think if anybody looks like they do not care, it would be a Kendrick Lamar. Like Kendrick Lamar does not look like he has ever, like every position that he's ever taken on, like being friends with Drake or having any type of relationship with Drake seems to be on some like pass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he does not care to have one. So,
and that was the point I was trying to make, but I lost my point. It's not really a strike against you till somebody says it in that limelight on that track. So like, Nas, everybody knew Jay-Z was using Biggie's lines.
Yeah.
It was kind of ignoring it. But when Nas said, how many Biggs rhymes gonna come out your fat lips? Yeah. Oh, you Dame Diddy, Dame Daddy, or Dame Dummy. Oh, I get it. You're Biggie and he's Puffy. When he said that, the world exploded. Mm-hmm. It's not because we didn't notice. It was just because
Somebody called it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when Kendrick Lamar points out these things in a rhyme on a beat, and
Then it's all of a sudden like,
then all of a sudden, yeah, it's not just a Twitter hashtag and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes. So we're still waiting on that. It's still that. And I think Kendrick just keeps warning him. Don't make me. Now, I think this is the furthest he's gone. And people are literally writing on there like, this beat and this song reminds me of a psychopath chasing somebody down with a knife. Like the way it just keeps progressively getting worse and worse and making you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and there's like Drake. I mean, to be funny, because it's what Kendrick said. There's like Drake makes you want to pop ass. Like, like girls shake their booty or whatever like that. He literally said, shake that ass for Drake.
Yeah.
He said that on the song. And Kendrick shit makes you like feel uncomfortable. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will say that. Like,
brother. What is that, brother?
What is brother? But, well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Aak says.
Aak says.
Aak says they need 4 more songs each.
You need 100,000 more bars. No, I think there's one more round. I think Drake. I think like a close split decision. Kennard Lamar has won my name.